everyone, it's Tox from CritsHappen.com. Thanks for watching and welcome back. We're here with another crit list, and as you can tell by the quality of the video and the direction of the camera, we're having some technical difficulties. So this is actually being filmed through my webcam, so I apologize if it is not as high def quality or better quality than what you're normally used to. But we wanted to still put this video together and get it out there for people to talk about, so we didn't want to wait until we fixed our technical difficulties. So with that in mind, I have a new crit list, and I'm really excited about this one because it's some stuff that I've been playing for a little bit and wanted to kind of give you guys some information on it. Today's crit list are going to be the top 3 games that I carry with me at all times. Now, most of you know, if you've met me at a show or seen me around at a show, I have a nice little black backpack that I take with me. And inside that, I like to keep small games. Now, this is not part of the list. This is an example. But without a doubt, everywhere I go, Roll For It is in my bag. So this gives you an idea of what we're going to be talking about. Roll For It is a really small pocket game. It is, in my opinion, the best pocket game that's out there on the market right now because it's simple, it's easy, it's quick, and I can teach it to anybody. The concept of Roll For It is really simple. You're going to have D6s, you're going to be rolling them on your turn, and you're going to be trying to match cards that are out on the playing field. So for example, this one, if I match 2 5s before anyone else, I get 2 points. This one, if I get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm going to get 15 points. This is a lot harder though, because when you roll, you're going to put dice onto cards, and you may not complete them in the first turn, so you're going to have to roll it again on the second turn with the remaining dice you have. So if I commit dice to this, I only have 6 dice, so I better finish this really quick. It's a great game. It's really easy to play. It's fun for almost everyone. You can combine multiple sets. They actually have different colored sets, so it comes with different dice. But it's something that is very quick and portable and very easy to take around with you. So that gives you an idea of some of the games we're going to be talking about. But Roll For It's been out for a little while. Today we're going to talk about 3 games that I have been carrying with me that I have thoroughly enjoyed playing with me. Some provide a massive amount of gameplay inside of a little box, but they're things that you can throw in your purse, you can throw in your backpack, you can throw in your fanny pack if you're that kind of gamer. So let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at what we have. So first up is actually a kind of a bigger game than you may expect. It is called Pina Parada, and it's from Donald X. Vaccarino, the guy who brought us Dominion. Pina Parada is a really, really cool game. Now this is a much bigger box than Roll For It. It's about maybe like a little bit, about a quarter bigger than what this box is. But it's really, really fun. It takes a simple concept that almost everybody knows, matching, and turns it into something a little more strategic. So the concept behind Pina Parada is that you're a pirate and you are trying to acquire a treasure map to be able to discover the golden pineapple. The treasure maps are actually on the back of ability cards. So you'll see here, I don't know if I can get this without the glare or not with this bad of a camera. You see that little red slash right there? So when you acquire these, you're going to be piecing them together. And what's going to happen is they're going to form an X. As you can see here, I have 2 pieces of an X. Then I will get a 3rd piece of an X right here. And then when I get the 4th one, I have found my treasure map and I win the game. The fun thing though is that the back of these have abilities. So what happens is every time I win a round, I'm going to be taking a couple of these in my hand, choosing one to put in play that's going to affect the gameplay, and then one to become my piece of the map. So to give you an idea, if I'm just pulling 2 randomly out, I have, you may play any pirate on rabbits, which I'll explain in a second, or Ghost, which says whenever you play a solitary pirate, choose a pirate. This pirate becomes a wild card for every player until another solitary pirate is played. Now, you're asking yourself, what's rabbits and what's a solitary pirate? Well, I'll explain that in a second here. The idea of the game is you have these oversized cards. So you've got the deck of these that some have 2 pirates on them. So this has a crocodile and a parrot. This has a rabbit and a parrot. And then there are some that are solitaire pirates, which are just the pirate themselves, like this monkey. Now, the concept is really simple. If I have the parrot and the rabbit is face up on the deck, then the only card I can play is a pirate or, a rabbit or a parrot. So if I had the parrot and the crocodile, boom, I can play that on top of it. And now the next player has to play a parrot or a crocodile. That's it. It's really simple. The challenges, of course, come is that if someone gets one of these solitary pirates down, the only card that can be played on top of that is one that matches it. So it takes something very much like Uno and makes it a little bit more fun because it's going to throw abilities into it. The reason that I really like it and the reason that I carry it around is that it is a beautifully rendered game. Yellow is the publisher. It's a beautifully rendered game, artistic speaking, and it's something that speaks to young children as well. So kids can latch onto it, they can jump into it, and they can play with it and love it. We've played this with as young as 5, and they go crazy for it. We have played it with a bunch of gamers that are all like 30 to 40, and they have all loved it too. Because it takes something, again, that's very familiar, very quick and easy to set up, and provides about maybe 20-30 minutes of gameplay in a really good package. So I've been really, really happy with Pina Parada. Okay, next up is a game that is, I don't know if, I have a hard time saying this is a dark horse because so many people I think know about it, so it's not really a dark horse, but I think a lot of people pass it over and they don't realize how cool of a game it is. So next up is from Asmodee, or Asmodee, whichever you like. It's like Mana and Mana. This is The Builders Middle Ages. It's a small tin. It's, maybe like, I think it's like $15 or $18, I think is how much the retail of it is. This is a ridiculously great game in this small of a box. I absolutely love playing this game. There are so many unique strategies in this game. And at first when you see it, you're like, oh, this is just grab these guys, put them on those buildings, and get points. There's so much more strategic depth inside this game. And literally, of everything on the market right now that is under $20, this provides some of the most amazing bang for your buck. It's just phenomenal. So let me show you a little bit about this. So as you can hear, there's a little bit of jingling going on. There's coins involved in this game. There are 2 different types of cards inside of the builders. And basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to race and build buildings faster than your opponents to get points. You do that by hiring workers. So for instance, this is a laborer. You have stone, wood, I think this is knowledge if I remember right, and tile. So this guy cost me 3 coins to put him to work. And you're going to start the game with a certain amount of coins. He's going to provide me 2 knowledge and 1 tile. Now, why would I need that? Well, because buildings require different categories of materials to build. This one is going to give me 18 coins if I complete it and 5 victory points. Now you're racing to 17, so that's quite a bit. And as you can see, it provides, I need to have 4 stone, 2 knowledge, and 4 tile to be able to complete this. So if I wanted to send this guy to work here, I could do that. It's going to cost me 3 coins to do it. I've completed the knowledge requirements for the church. I have 1 of the 4 tile that I need for the church. And I'm going to need to go get more workers to be able to complete a building of that size. There are some buildings that are much considerably less. For example, the townhouse here has 2 stone, 2 knowledge, and 1 tile. So again, a little bit less. You're going to get less. You're going to get 10 points or 10 coins and 2 points. The interesting thing about the builders is that the cards are double-sided, so when they're completed, you flip them over and you see how many points you've got and kind of the picture of what the building is that you just built, which is really kind of cool. In addition to that, though, there are some really cool things like tools is what they call them. So you have like the crane and the tile oven. Now, when these get completed, you're gonna have requirements just like everything else. So, for example, the crane here requires 1 wood and 1 tile. It's going to provide me, though, instead of getting coins, it's going to provide me 2 stone moving forward and 1 victory point. What that means is when I flip it over, this is now something that I can put to work for free. There's no money cost to be able to put this to work for free. So if I wanted to put this on my church, I can put it there for free and I have 2 stone and it's going to help me with the thresholds. Now, you're limited. You only have 3 actions per turn. Some of those actions are going to be drafting new workers, some of them are going to be drafting new blueprints, and some of them are potentially going to be able to, you're going to be able to get more actions by spending money. You can spend 5 coins to get an action. The trick is this: whenever you try to place a worker or a tool onto a building, it costs you 1 action, but it increases exponentially. So the first worker is 1 action. the second worker is going to cost you 2 additional actions. So if I wanted to put these 2 guys onto a building, that's all 3 of my actions. So that's where you start to get into some of the strategy of, do I need to rush and use more actions than I would normally use to finish a building and get points and get money for it right now? Or do I hold off and span out my workers that I'm putting onto my buildings? It is tremendous. You have some beautiful artwork, although it is a little simplistic. You'll notice that some of the characters actually end up looking like each other after a while. But there's a varying degree of different amounts of resources, or whatever you want to call it. The stone, the wood, the knowledge, and the tile, a different varying amount of those that each worker is going to provide. And there is a varying amount of buildings in the game as well. You also get some little plastic coins as well that come in the box. But this has provided an amazing amount of strategic depth for a small little game. This one is easily on my must-have list for this year. If you've not gotten this, I would definitely highly recommend to go out and get it. And because it's so small and it's in a tin, it's really nice to be able to throw in your bag and be able to take with you. Okay, now the last game, Qorkle Travel. No, I'm kidding. I'm not. Qorkle's a good game. I don't carry that with me everywhere. The last game is going to be something that some of you may or may not have heard of, but it was introduced to me at Origins, and I fell in love with the concept of it. I thought it was really neat and interesting idea, and it's a game that is all card-based, and it's all kind of cute, and you're going to go, how's that even fun? It's like, whatever, but it's really, really fun. The last game is by Nazca Games, who made Volt. It's called Tricks and Treats, and this is it. It's a little card box, and that's it. It's a Halloween-themed candy game, and the idea sounds really simple. At the beginning of the game, you're going to be dealt a card, and that card is going to have a number on it. So, for instance, this is number 1. You're going to have candy baskets that are out in the center of the table. So you'll see these are numbered 1 through 6 for multiple different players. Because I have 1 face down and no one knows about it, I am number 1. I want, of course, the most candy in my basket at the end of the game. However, it's not that simple. You would think, hey, there's this 3 candy, I can just play that into my basket and all is good and well. Well, the challenge is going to be twofold. First, someone could potentially guess your basket and knock you out of the game. So if I start heavily putting candy into one basket, then people are going to go, oh, well, you're number 1, and they can tattletale on you and knock you out of the game. So you're trying to kind of throw people off with what basket you're putting candy into. Your turn is really simple. You draw a card and you're going to place a card into one of the baskets. So you're going to have 2 in your hand at the beginning of your turn. You're going to draw and you're going to place it into a basket. The really fun part, though, comes with these guys. You have baskets that all have different abilities. So, for example, the electric slide basket is going to be out there. And it says at the end of the game, if there's an odd number of cards in the basket, then shift all baskets to the right by 1. If there's an even number, you shift all baskets to the left. Now, what that means is, let's say I had this 3 and this 1, and the 5 was here, and the 6 was here. I can't even do this. This is why I need a full camera. So let's say the 5 is here and the 6 is here. They're all going to shift. The candy stays, but the baskets are what shifts. So if I'm 5 and I'm winning, and all of a sudden the electric slide at the end of the game shifts it this way, all of a sudden 6 is now winning. So there's a lot of really interesting timing things that can happen with that. But on top of that, there's a lot of other baskets in here. There's things like the magnet basket, which is also really fun. This one says each time a player puts a 1 card in this basket, so the number 1, like that, then the player must take the last card from one basket and place it in another basket. So you're kind of shifting candy around again, and a lot of craziness can happen. And then you have the cooties basket. The cooties basket says at the end of the game, count the number of candy of each type in this basket. The candy type that has the most in this basket has cooties, and the player with the most candy of that type loses the game. If there are players that are tied, then all the tied players lose. So there's going to be a lot of variation in the game because there's so many different special baskets, and you can shake those up and change them in and out each game, that it makes it really, really fun. It's super quick. It literally plays in like 10 minutes flat. and you can play it with a good amount of players. It's actually 2 to 4 players. It says 10 to 20 minutes. The thing that, again, that I like about this game is it's something I can quickly teach to somebody. It's something that easy to pick up. I mean, everyone understands the idea of I want the most candy. It's dealing with the mechanics and things moving around, and more importantly, trying to get the most candy without telling people or showing people what candy basket is yours. So Tricks and Treats, definitely highly recommended. So let's go back and take a look at all 3 of these. So we have Pina Parada from Yellow. This is going to be a high one on my list. Again, I carry it everywhere I go. The Builders, hands down, one of the better small games that you can get this year. This is from Asmodee, or Asmodee. And then finally, Tricks and Treats from Nazca Games. Now, all of these companies make great big games, but I just thought it would be really cool to sit down and talk a little bit about the smaller games and things that you could take with you and take on the road, or, take to conventions and things like that. So, that's it. What do you think? Aside from having a really bad camera and putting this together as crudely as possible, would love to hear what you think about these games. Conversely, what games do you carry with you? What do you bring with you to conventions? What do you like carrying around that's small, pocket size, but provides a good amount of fun? There is one game that I will give honorable mention to, and it's called Valley of the Kings. This is from AEG. Now, I'm not going to go into details on this, but inside this little box is a 100-card deck building game, and it's phenomenal. Definitely go check this out. It didn't quite make the top 3 because it is a little more detailed than some of the other ones, but it's definitely a game to check out and one I would highly recommend. So, let us know your thoughts. Are these games that you carry? What games do you carry? And what do you think overall? Let us know by leaving your comments in the YouTube channel below. Of course, you can join in the discussion on Facebook, Twitter, and Google Plus by searching Crits Happen, or at our homepage at critshappen.com. But until we see you next time, hopefully we'll have a better camera, and you'll have a lot of fun with all your pocket games. Thanks so much for watching. Keep rolling those dice, and we hope they're all crits.